Hello, people. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to talk about the exotic dancer slash stripper industry. Yeah, this type of stuff is everywhere. It's wide open. So it's not hush hush. It's not really a taboo subject anymore. Because if you drive around through different places, here and now, you will notice a strip club. I'm talking about the strip clubs with women dancers in them. From my perspective of seeing that and noticing that, but everybody has their own strip clubs, male and female. But I'm staying on the subject of this being about female exotic dancers. Where anyway, the stripper industry is that. It is big as the big three automakers. It's big as the mainstream movie industry. It's big as the goods and services industry. It's always been major in all those ways. You know why? That is because da 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 da. Give me a drum roll. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy that you can get close to outside of your mind's eye. Yeah, folks, you can go to somewhere in which you will see fantasy looking women that are incredibly beautiful and sexy, but those women aren't coming home with you. So sorry, buddies. I feel bold, but you can't take any of those women outside of the club with you. Unless you bribe them, offer them a huge payment sum, gold, gemstones, precious materials, and a marriage license. Other than that, you're not getting them to come outside of the club. That's why it's a fantasy. Yes, the stripper, exotic dancer industry is a fantasy industry. It sells a fantasy. If you close your mind, you can fantasize about something clear. You can fantasize about anything, like being on a tropical island. But when you open your eyes, you're not on a tropical island. You're still in home, at home. Like, you might be somewhere cold. You're like, well, I woke up. That didn't work. I'm not really on a tropical island. I thought I could project myself there. Yeah, folks, those are fantasies. But the stripper industry is a big fantasy and it is a more like alluring type of fantasy because you can go there and be by all of those beautiful women who are dressed scantily clad and barely wearing anything at all. Yeah, you can, and you, again, fellas, let me get a drum roll. Boo, 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 boo. You cannot take any of those women home with you. I'm talking about the average guys that walk in there, the average dudes, red-blooded dudes that drink blood. No, not that red-blooded dudes that drink beer. They do not drink that. They drink beer. So, but they're red-blooded. They might put in the time at work and then leave their job and then come there to see a bunch of beautiful women sit down. I'm talking about average guys like that. But the rich guys, of course, can come in there and get the women to leave with them because they could pull out big wads of cash and be like, how much do you want and need? And then tell me. And then if she says a specific number, then he looks at her and smiles and says, it's done. That woman is leaving the club with that dude tonight because unless it's something about him that scares her like that. But, the rich guys can get more of the realness out of a fantasy than the average, everyday, regular pay type of guys or lower paid type of guys, rather. That's how it works. The more money that you have in life, the more you can bypass the fantasy blocks that says don't taste, don't touch, don't get near, don't enjoy, that sort of thing if you're rich. But so besides rich guys going in those strip clubs and probably getting a lot of the women to come out of the clubs with them, because if you offer somebody thousands of dollars, then they're going to be like, this is too good to be true, but I'm taking the money. Yeah. And the stripper industry is a fantasy, but it's a darker side to it. It breaks up marriages and relationships. We know a lot of married men and dudes go in there, and then when they see that fantasy up close, then that will make them want to cheat because they're weaker in minded than guys that can resist. They're weaker to the will and they succumb to that. But if you had the most beautiful women that you've ever seen walking around you scantily clad or with even less than that, then you might cheat. Like your wife, your girlfriend, your whatever might not look as good as that woman or all of those women dancers in the club. It might be in terms of that, like those women might look better than your, even though you might love and care for your girl or your wife. Nevertheless, the stripper women look way better. They have better shapes. They're sexier, sleazier. Then a lot of the guys' wives outside of the clubs are very beautiful too. A lot of the dudes' girlfriends be very beautiful too. So it's not just that they're cheating because those women are very beautiful. It might be that they want a variety of beautiful women, much like their wife is. She's beautiful, but she's a type of beautiful. But so they might be like, I want Halle Berry beautiful. That might be like, I want Jane Kennedy beautiful. They might be like, I want Pam Grier beautiful. They might be like, I want Marilyn Monroe beautiful. I want Jane Mansfield beautiful. I want Lucille Ball beautiful. Yeah, Lucy was cute. She was. Don't make no mistake about that. Yeah. Well, that's either way. Like people see a lot of beautiful women in the strip clubs, and the men go there because they want to see beautiful women. They want to see, in fact, a lot of beautiful women in one spot, one contained location at the same time. And while they're scantily clad and barely wearing anything. I know some people out there would think, man, they're pigs, they're dogs, they're party animals, they're beer drinkers, they're women lovers. I would say, right you are, because we are that, brothers and sisters. Yeah, but that's the case. Like with that, if something is providing something like the stripper industry, and they provide tens of thousands of beautiful women for that entire industry in America, and probably tens of thousands all over the world, then men are going to flock to that. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Well, folks, thanks for hanging out with me. I'd appreciate it if you would give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to my channel, Detroit Miracle.